First, the Luminesse collection offers state-of-the-art skincare development, including the flagship product, Cellular Rejuvenation Serum. Created with breakthrough adult stem cell technology, this serum works quickly to recapture the youthful appearance by minimizing fine lines and wrinkles while smoothing and firming the skin.
Once you put it on, not only you see improvement, everybody else comments that you look good. You're going to reduce fine lines and wrinkles.
We know that Luminesse is working. I prove it with my dermoscope, and I'm very convinced the stem cell technology in the Luminesse is so safe. It is natural, it is a serum.
All natural and with no side effects, the results from using this serum found within the Luminesse collection have been startling.
What really surprised me about Luminesse is how fast one can notice the changes on their skin.
This is a patient who has skin cancer. He couldn't get anybody to fix him using traditional reconstructive surgery because there was no blood vessels here. All the radiation had killed off his blood vessels. Every time they would try to cut this, it would start to die off. They couldn't fill it because it would start to die off. The skin didn't have enough blood flow to it. What we did was bring in the stem cells from the corner, if I can get this, from here, and we put it in and filled it gradually, building in all that blood vessels. It took me 2 years to do this. But when you touch his jaw now, it's hard. When you touch up here, it's soft. I didn't do that. That's the stem cells. They know what to do. His skin was very damaged by the radiation. It looked terrible. His skin, you can't see it in the pictures very well, but his skin looks almost normal because of the stem cell treatments. That you could not get with any reconstructive surgery. We can do the hands. Basically, you can do any body part that you want. And that's how we got to here. By doing all those treatments, we saw how the skin got better. By doing the burn victims and doing the ulcers, we saw that the skin is getting better and it's healing better. And in the laboratory, when we were growing all these cells, we saw that these cells communicate with one another.
Can you tell us if our product is in fact the only product using stem cell technology today?
There's a lot of hype right now because of what happened with the change in the American government. So they allowed stem cell research and everything became stem cell overnight. Stem cell apples and stem cell plants and stem cell everything. All those ideas are more of a gimmick than true science. The main thing that we have in the stem cell that is with Luminesse that is very unique is human and not animal. It's fat and not anything else because that's what will affect, that's the best stem cells to use for your skin basically. And you get the most benefit with the most natural results. Nobody regulates these things. So you have to be very careful when they just write on the bottle stem cell. I can tell you, we're the first ones. Right now, we're the only ones, and we're the best ones. Luminesse does not contain any live cells whatsoever. It does not contain any cells. What it contains is the products that the cells have produced, which is cytokines, interleukins, growth factors, prostaglandins, and these chemical language that they have produced in the laboratory is what we are bottled in Luminous. But the cells themselves, they're not in the product. Cutting-edge cosmetic surgery without the cutting.
The second critical technology is delivered by Reserve, a botanical blend of essential antioxidants featuring the profoundly important anti-aging ingredient resveratrol, which nutritional experts are now calling the anti-aging miracle of the century.
Reserve gives you more energy, it increases your immunity, and it decreases the heart attack rate, and it has a whole list of benefits.
Reserve promotes a healthy immune system, increases your metabolism, and also assists in digestion, cardiovascular function, and helps to maintain healthy cholesterol levels.
I am one of those aging baby boomers, and I want to stay young. And when I saw the Reserve, I thought, young on the inside, young on the outside.
These two mice are racing toward the elusive fountain of youth. So why is the one on the right moving so much faster? He's running on red wine, or more precisely, resveratrol, a natural compound found in red wine. And the man behind the mice is betting that molecule is the answer to aging.
We believe these molecules are working by activating these very ancient genetic pathways that control the aging process.
Because the genes are activated by resveratrol. The mice who received it lived 30% longer than the mice who did not. That finding made big headlines.
Other studies showed that among mice fed a high-fat diet, those given resveratrol didn't gain as much weight as those not given the drug. Sinclair believes that resveratrol actually changes the physiology of the mice. The proof, he says, is in the post-mortem.
Their organs looked pristine, youthful, fat-free, and their physiology was just like they were dieting, but they were fat.
Convinced they were on the right path, they fast-tracked the drug into human trials on people with untreated diabetes, and the results were impressive. It significantly lowered glucose and insulin levels without the patients changing their diet or taking any other drugs.
Then one major part of the angiogenesis revolution is a new approach to treating cancer by cutting off the blood supply. We call this anti-angiogenic therapy, and it's completely different from chemotherapy because it selectively aims at the blood vessels that are feeding the cancers. So a few years ago, I asked myself, can we take this one step further and treat other cancers, even in other species? So here is a 9-year-old boxer named Milo who had a very aggressive tumor called a malignant neurofibroma growing on his shoulder. It invaded to his lungs. His veterinarian only gave him 3 months to live. So we created a cocktail of anti-angiogenic drugs that could be mixed into his dog food, as well as an anti-angiogenic cream that could be applied on the surface of the tumor. And within a few weeks of treatment, we were able to slow down that cancer's growth such that we were ultimately able to extend Milo's survival to 6 times what the veterinarian had initially predicted, all with a very good quality of life. And we've subsequently treated more than 600 dogs. We have about a 60% response rate and improved survival for these pets that were about to be euthanized. So let me show you what happens when we put in an extract from red grapes. The active ingredient is resveratrol. It's also found in red wine. This inhibits abnormal angiogenesis by 60%. Finally, I've talked to you about food and I've talked to you about cancer, so there's just one more disease that I have to tell you about, and that's obesity. Because it turns out that adipose tissue, fat, is highly angiogenesis dependent. And like a tumor, fat grows when blood vessels grow. So the question is, can we shrink fat by cutting off its blood supply? So the top curve shows the body weight of a genetically obese mouse that eats nonstop until it turns fat like this furry tennis ball. And the bottom curve is the weight of a normal mouse. If you take the obese mouse and give it an angiogenesis inhibitor, it loses weight. Stop the treatment, gains the weight back. Restart the treatment, loses the weight again. Stop the treatment, gains the weight back. And in fact, you can cycle the weight up and down simply by inhibiting angiogenesis. So this approach that we're taking for cancer prevention may also have an application for obesity.
It's a safety net in the world today. Where do you go in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and start over?
2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. You can do it with your nest.
If I could do it, you too can make that change. Because it does take one person to make that decision. So you know what, I want something different. And then go out there and take some massive action. Because I went from a struggling entrepreneur to become a multimillionaire. So if I can do it, so can you.